good music is going on, can I hear it? No, sit down here, meditate. They have to obey. Our students constantly complain, Ramakrishna Mission, very strict discipline and so on. We are as if kept in a jail, we can't do anything, and you don't give us freedom. Our students are here, they know. But I tell them, what kind of freedom do you want? Swami Ramakrishna ji, the famous disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, Shashi Maharaj, defined two types of freedom. Freedom of the senses and freedom from the senses. Do you want freedom from the senses? Freedom of the senses. My senses want to enjoy so many things, and I give them freedom. Come on, go and enjoy. That is one kind of freedom. The other freedom is freedom from the senses. I will not give you freedom to do anything I like. Children also these days will say, you are not giving freedom. In our country, everything is free. People talk anything they like. Freedom of speech, Constitution of India provides it. But you can't use the freedom of speech in a way that hurts other man's freedom. He is also free to shout. You also go on shouting, both of you. Nobody listens to anybody. So freedom from the senses is to be emphasized, not freedom of the senses. Then I asked them, are you now free? You want freedom? You are slaves to your senses. The tongue wants to taste something. They go over here and there and eat so many things, come back, and terrible stomach pain. What did you eat? Oh, I thought I'll eat there. Your senses are controlling you. What kind of freedom do you have? So you should have freedom from the senses. Senses should not control me. I should control them. I am the supreme being in the body. I will control what the senses want to enjoy. I will regulate them. So sarvadvarani sanyamya, sanyamana means regulation, control. Regulating what? Sarvadvarani. All the openings, all these indriyas, all the senses, I regulate them. I'm not saying you should not enjoy. I'm not saying you should enjoy. Without my permission, you cannot enjoy. It has to come every time. See, today is a special day. Spiritual retreat is going on. Some sweets are here. I'm diabetic. Please allow me for some. Then I tell, all right, just a small piece, nothing more. So this is called Sanyamana. So Bhagavan says, Sarvadvaraya Sanyamya, first step. And then what about the mind? Mind is restlessly moving here and there. Take the mind and arrest it. Arrest it and where? Put it in the heart. The mind should be arrested in the heart. The words are very significant. Nirudhya, nipuru, rudh dhatu lyap. Rudh means rodha, nirodha, control, arresting. Arrest the mind inside the heart. Then, about the prana, etc., omikaksharam brahma. I emphasize these two. Mano hridi nirudhyacha. The mind, which I said, was sankalpa vikalpatmak manas. The mind cannot decide what I should do, what I should not do. Why we cannot decide anything is because we are thinking through the mind to make take a decision. The mind can never decide. Mind will, this moment he will say this, next moment I think perhaps that is better. I have decided, no, I will attend the retreat today. Somebody comes and says, no, today we are going there. See, so much work is there, we are going there. Then, shall I not go? As well, let me not go. So the mind is vacillating. To be or not to be, that is the question. Sankalpa vikalpa atmak manas. It is vacillating between do's and don'ts, what I should do, what I should not do, what I should eat, what I should not eat. It cannot come to any decision. It is always sandigdha, always doubtful about what it should do, what it should taste. No decision is possible by sankalpa vikalpa atmak manas. From thesis to antithesis, keeps on moving, vacillating. Who decides? Who decides is the buddhi. The buddhi is a higher faculty of the same mind, which it clearly decides. It's called Nischayatmika buddhi. Nischayatmika buddhi has been described by Bhagavan in the second chapter as Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Vyavasayatmika buddhi rekehe kurunandana bhushakha hyanantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. Vyavasayatmika buddhi means the buddhi which is steady, which is clear, and which is fixed, and which does not move about. Vyavasayatmika buddhi is the sattviki buddhi. This is called the medha or the pragya or dhi, what we call buddhi in Vedanta. There's a famous verse in the Kathopanishad, Ratha Rupa Kalpana. They've imagined a Ratha, chariot. What does the chariot consist of? Chariot consists, of course, the chariot. You need a charioteer, a driver, and you need the reins. And who is sitting in the chariot? The owner of this chariot. Owner is sitting there. There are horses. There's the rein. And there's that reining. You hold this, pull this made of leather. And there is a driver who is driving it. Atmanam rasinam vidhi shariram rasamevatu buddhim tu sarathim vidhi mana pragrahamevacha. Imagine a chariot. Atmanam rasinam vidhi. Rathin is a person who owns the chariot. Rathi is a person who has a ratha. It's called inipratyaya. I have a ratha and therefore I am a rathi. I have some guna, therefore I am guni. I have dhana, therefore I am a dhani. Inipratyaya. Atmanam rathinam vidhi. Think of the Atman to be the rathi, the owner of this chariot. Shariram rathamevatu. Which is the ratha? The sharira, this body is the ratha. Very interesting rupaka, metaphor. Buddhim sarathim vidhi. The buddhi which decides which way to go. The driver has to be very alert. You turn left or turn right, which way you go, you do not really know. Sometimes you get confused. So you are guided by what? GPS. God positioning system, not Google. That tells you after 50 yards, take the first exit to the right. After 15 yards, turn left. So you follow that. Sometimes you make a mistake and you have to come back. Take a U-turn, recalculating. This U-turn and recalculation is called Vedanta. Kaschid dhira pratyagatmanam aishat avritta chakshur amritatvam icchan Kathopanishad. Avritta chakshu, you take a U-turn, all the senses are going out, you pull them back and come back to the Atman. So the God positioning system tells you, you're going too far into prayas, that which is pleasant. Now come back to the shreyas, which is good. Come too far, so what do? Take a U-turn, recalculating. All our lives, all of us here, our lives have been recalculated. Unconsciously, we recalculated our lives and come back to Shreyas, to Sri Ramakrishna, rather than going headlong into the sensory world. Buddhim tu sarathim vidhi. The manas is the pragraha, the rein which you hold. Indriyani hayanyahu, which is the horses, the indriyas. Atmendriya manoyuktam bhoktetyahur manishanaha. So who's got a bhokta? Bhokta is a person, Atma, Manas, and Indriya. Here Atma means the body. The body, the mind, Indriyas, all of them put together is called the bhokta, the enjoyer who is owning this chariot. Now, if the buddhi is a very bad horse, buddhi is the sarathi, vijnana saratharyastu manapragrahan naraha. If the buddhi is the sarathi, is vijnanavan, he is very intelligent, very sharp, endowed with higher wisdom, then takes you to the right route. Or if the horses are bad horses, dushta, he says, then they take you to the wrong route and then you fall down. There is an accident. Therefore, if the vijnani, the sarathi, is awakened with the buddhi, he takes you along the right route with the cooperation of the indriyas, which also are good horses. Both are necessary. You need a good sarathi, you also a good engine. If they try the steering wheel and the accelerator, etc., which are the instrument, they are equivalent to the horses. So that also is very important. Swami Vireshwaranda had an interesting joke. Somebody was driving a car. So is the car okay? It's all tested well? Absolutely. All the parts are equally good. It can go. So went on driving in a mountainous path. Suddenly it stopped. All the four wheels came out. Then came and complained. Sir, you said, I told you, all the parts are equally good. It is not that one wheel came out, all the wheels came out. Vireshwaranji's joke. So you need the sarathi to be intelligent, what we call viveki. Viveka was talked about. Viveka is a very interesting statement. Viveka means, now it has used to be translated as discrimination, but these days discrimination is a very bad word. People don't like discrimination. And Viveka Chudamani is the crest jewel of discrimination. Now, the modern word people use is discernment. You should be very discerning. Sat, asat, sat, nitya, anitya. Between these two, you should discriminate what is good, what is bad. What is real, what is unreal. And what is permanent, what is impermanent. The capacity by which you will be able to intuitively understand this is called the viveka. A person who possesses viveka is called viveki. Whenever the word dhiman, a person possessing dhi, occurs in the Upanishads and the scripture, the Bhashyakara Shankaracharya will say viveki. A person who possesses dhi. Dhi is explained by Bhashyakara Shankara as viveka. By viveka is a faculty by which you can clearly discern between one and the other. Otherwise, it simply takes you somewhere, you can't really discern. Often it is not our fault. We do not know what is good. So what should we do? We turn to the scriptures, we turn to the Guru, and clear instructions are given in the scriptures. Therefore, karya, akarya, what is to be done, what is not to be done. This is clearly mentioned to you by the scriptures. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya karya vyavasthito. Bhagavad Gita. Karya and akarya in the arrangement, this is 16th chapter, last verse 24, 16.24. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya karya vyavasthito. Gyatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartum viharhasi. So, shastra is the pramana, shastra is the proof, where karya akarya vyavasthito. Vyavastha means arrangement. This has been arranged. You should do this and you should not do that. Who tells you? Shastra is the pramana. Often the children ask and our students ask, what is the pramana? Why do you say this? We normally quote the Constitution of India. The model code of conduct will be in place as long as the election dates are announced. So we swear by the Constitution. Constitution of India says, you can't do this, you can do this. That is the Shastra as far as the governance of the country is concerned. Rules of traffic. Traffic rules say you should do this, you should not do that. Karya, akarya vyavastha. Gyatva Shastra Vidhana Uktam. Having known the Shastras, the Vidhana, the injunctions of the Shastras, the dicta of the Shastras, karma kartam yuharhasi. You are eligible to do karma. Shastra is most vital. So remember, at least Bhagavad Gita Shastra, all of us should always turn. Whenever you have any doubt, turn to Bhagavad Gita, you get the answer. Or the Gospel of Ramakrishna. You know the story of Purnachandra Ghosh. He was a householder disciple of Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna rated him as an Ishvara Koti. For some reason, he was very much depressed. He said, now I'll fall before the tram car and then kill myself. With that thought, he come. Then he said, at least before dying, I will look at the gospel once. He turned a page. It is written there, Sri Ramakrishna is deeply concerned about Purnachandra. The moment he saw this, he was overwhelmed with emotion. Sri Ramakrishna himself is worried about me, thinking of me. All the thought vanished. Many people have said, whenever I have doubt, open any page of the gospel, the answer is there in that page. That may not be very rationally acceptable, but even then, the Gita and the Shastra, some of the Shastras, you turn to the Upanishads or turn to whatever scripture you are used to studying, but it should be authentically revealed by a person who has realized God, not any other scripture. Gyatva Shastra Vidhanokta, even in science, for example, if you're a man of chemistry or physics, if you want to go to a laboratory and do something, you should refer to the laboratory manual before you enter. What is mentioned in the manual, you should do. So, Sarvadvara Sanyamya, so these horses should be restrained. So, the Sarathi has to be extremely keen, Jnanavan, Viveki, endowed with the discernment about what is good and what is bad, what should or should not be done. This Sarathi is extremely important. And the Sarathi ultimately, if the horses are good, and the Sarathi is also very keen, alert, and a man of discernment, ultimately you reach your goal. Tad Vishnu Sodhvana Paramapnoti, Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. Then he reaches the abode of Vishnu. Here, abode of Vishnu means Vishnu itself is the supreme abode. Sarvadvarani Sanyamya, Mano Hridi Niruddhya. The mind should be fixed in the heart. This heart here actually is the Vijnanamaya Atma. Bhajanand used to say there are three kinds of heart. One is the physical heart, second is the emotional heart, and the third is the spiritual heart. The physical heart is what the cardiologists look at. You have a bypass surgery and you go to a cardiologist. So there's the physical heart. The emotional heart is the seat of emotions. There's more of prana than intellect. When you love somebody, when you show your emotion to somebody, you always say, with my prana. Prana is very difficult to translate in English. So the prana element comes in, and your heart is the seat of all emotions. Heart, whenever they talk about this, they always put on heart symbol. Heart gives you the right or wrong emotions according as it is purified or impure. So that the emotional heart. The third heart, which the spiritualists and the great saints have discovered, is the spiritual heart. The spiritual heart is the seat of Medha, or Dhi, or Buddhi, or Pragya. When heart is awakened, then your Buddhi is awakened. Buddhi is not a faculty of the brain. Dhi, Buddhi, Pragya, these are not faculties of the brain. They are faculties of the heart. Spiritual heart, not the ordinary heart. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, the recent great Jnani, used to say, the physical heart is to the left. All of us know this. The heart is slightly to the left of the chest, but the spiritual heart is to the right, he used to say. One simple example I used to quote, that is the seat of I, ego. Whenever they say I, people, whenever they say I, who did this? I did it. You don't say left hand. Any left-handers here? Do you say this or that? You may be a left-hander, but still when you refer to I did it, I didn't do it, etc. Who drove the car? I did it. You thumb the right side of the chest. So that is the seat of I. This is the anubhuti of people who have realized. So we have to accept it as they say. Ramana Maharshi elaborately discusses the heart. And in fact, heart with capital H, that's the least you can do in English. In Sanskrit, there's no capital or small. So Ramana Maharshi used to say, what we call the heart with the capital H, what we call the Atman, what we call grace, Kripa, what we call the Guru, and Ishvara, all are identical. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine. Ishvara, Guru, and Atman are identical. So when that heart is awakened, then the path is very clear to you. What should be done, what should not be done becomes very, very clear. The awakening of buddhi by arresting all the senses, arresting the mind in the heart, after having arrested all outgoing tendencies of the senses, is the sadhana which is prescribed in the Bhagavad Gita. You may ask, you may talk about buddhi and dhi and all that, how to awaken it. First, arrest all the senses from outgoing tendencies as much as possible. Then take the mind, put it in the heart. Is it easy? That means you can also see in very mundane world, when you deeply love something, deeply absorbed in something, something it draws you, then all the senses are automatically withdrawn and you deeply feel that situation in your heart. All the buddhi is also awakened in you. Christ mentioned this in the Bible. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Why is it that we don't have love for God? Because we don't consider God as our treasure. He is our treasure of our life. He is the only to be attained. We don't feel it. That's why 1155, refer to that. Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, last verse. He says, Mat karma kran mat paramo madhubhakta sangavarjita nirvaira sarvabhutesho yasamameti pandava mat karma krit. You work for me. First statement. Christ said, not he who saith, Lord, Lord, but he who doeth the will of my Father is in heaven. First, do something for him. I have so much love for you, but I don't do anything. Your mother is very ill, your father is suffering. Oh, mom, I have so much of feeling for you. Please give me some water, but I can't give you water. What kind of love is that? Love should be expressed in service. So, mat karma kran, first do my work. How? Mat paramo. I am the supreme being. I am the only being which you covet, only being which you aspire for. So this will draw all your faculties to God. Why we do not have so much of affection for God, love for God, which we have for the worldly things, is because we think that is necessary. Money is necessary, wealth is necessary, fame is necessary. That is the only attraction for us. God is one of the many attractions, but little lower. Let him be there, let him wait for some more time. See, if you're drawn to something, you get absorbed into this. Our students used to complain, I can't concentrate in my studies, etc. Then I said, we'll discuss it later. I'll ask you a couple of questions. Do you watch the World Cup on the television? Of course I do. India-Pakistan is a big sensation in India, as you know. India-Pakistan World Cup final. Last over, 6 balls, 10 runs. Then slowly it reduces. 2 balls, 4 runs. and you're glued to the TV. Somebody comes and says, I have wonderful Nalen Gure Sandesh, very famous sweetmeat there. I have some Rasagulla, something. Keep quiet. Should anybody tell you, please concentrate on the television screen? Should anybody tell you? How does concentration come? Because your whole mind and heart are drawn there. When you are drawn to something, you don't need to concentrate. The drawing towards God is what is called bhakti. Mat karmakran mataparamo mad bhakta sangavarjita. Be my devotee and don't be attached to anything else besides me. Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu. Don't have any enmity for anybody, any being. So when the heart is drawn, that may be the emotional heart, feeling heart for some time, but some kind of awakening is necessary for you to completely get absorbed in an idea. A person who is a researcher, he's doing a research and is deeply absorbed, he completely forgets everything else. The famous example of Eureka, we know about Archimedes. Archimedes worried about this buoyancy. Then he was taking a bath. Suddenly he found he find lighter. Then the king was asking him about the content of lead in the golden crown. Then Eureka, found out, etc. He did not even wear clothes. He was running about Eureka, Eureka. The story of Newton is well known. He has invited a friend for lunch. The friend knew he'll be absorbed in his laboratory. He saw he's so much absorbed, didn't disturb him, quietly ate and went away. Suddenly, Newton remembered, oh, I invited my friend. Came rushing to the dining table, and we saw a table in which somebody had eaten. There's, oh, I forgot that I already ate, and went back. This kind of absorption is possible. We have done it in many cases. People, when now the elections are over and so many changes are taking place, the share market, the Sensex falls and goes up, and people are very deeply interested in investments. I have seen some people in the televisions also, you can see 20 hours, 22 hours, in the same seat, they sit and look at the screen, constantly worrying where they should invest. So if long hours of sitting can give you God, those people should be already illumined. So the attraction towards something, they are attracted to money, you got to get it. If you're artharthi, you got artha. If you're a kamarthi, you got kama. If you're a moksharthi, you got moksha. It's very simple. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tastadaiva bhajamyaham. Whomsoever wants whatever, I reach that to him. So the spiritual heart, which is the seat of buddhi, dhi, prajna, that spiritual heart, when it is awakened, you feel a peculiar sensation, the awakening of the kundalini and coming to the anahata. As I said, anahata dhvani in the form of sound and stroke or in the form of mysterious kind of light, which Ramakrishna mentions. That's the first awakening that you have. You first realize yourself as the Jiva Atman, apart from and separate from the body and the mind. What is our feeling about us now? So I think of, who am I? I think of the body, I think of the senses, I think of all my possessions, etc. come much later. So do I have any conception, any feeling even, that I am a spirit living in the body? I identify myself in so many things. The series of identifications, Vedanta calls adhyasa. That because of avidya. Avidya is a common factor which all the systems accept. The Pancha Klesha in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he puts avidya first. Buddha, he puts avidya as the cause of everything. What is avidya is undefined, but so when the awakening takes place of the buddhi, you first realize yourself as a spirit living in this body, operating through the senses. So far, we have been thinking of ourselves as a conglomerate of the body, the senses, and the spirit content, all of them put together. Vedanta Sara, the preliminary text on Vedanta, It's said is like a tapta lauha pinda, a steel or iron ball which has been heated red hot. What are the components there? You have the ball, you have the heat, you have the Agni, fire. And all of them are together, undifferentiated. That we call as we identify as ourselves. But when they're separated, Viviktam Sat, he says, then the Agni component is removed, separated out. You can clearly discern, it's called Viveka. You see yourself as Jivatman residing in the body. Such a person is called Shariri, Dehi. The Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, so many times this word comes there. Dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara. Dehi means a person who possesses the body. Ini pratyaya, dehin. A person who possesses the body is called a dehin or a dehi. A possessor of the sharira is called sharirin or shariri, and so on. So first we come to realize that we are the spirit residing in the body. We have been identifying ourselves with the body and the mind and the senses. Unconsciously it come to us. Hey, why did you come for the retreat? Oh, I was suffering a terrible toothache. So you're not well? I am not at all well. I can't bear this toothache. Is it a right statement? I am well, but my tooth are not well. So what did I do? I superimposed my me on the tooth. I identified myself. It's called adhyasa. I identify with the senses. Identify with my eyes, with my ears. So you can't hear properly, I see. I can hear very keenly. I is identified with my senses. Then going deeper, I is identified with the mind. My mind is not very happy. That fellow insulted me before everybody. My mind is not at all well. Are you well? No, I'm not well. I'm intensely unhappy. Your mind is not well, and you say, I am not well. The mind, I is identifying with the mind. I am identifying with the intellect. People who write books. If you even slightly criticize their books, you are finished. My book? What do you mean? There is an interesting story. One boy wanted to live in one of the ashramas for a few days. He came and met the head of the center. He said, no, you're an unknown person. How can I keep you? Then he came down slightly dejected. One of the other Swamis was slightly more intelligent and practical. He said, you do one thing. You purchase one book. He has written one book. It is there available in the bookshop. Take that book. Again, go to him and tell him, put on signature. See what happens. Again, you are coming here? I told you not to come. No, I am going away. But I saw a beautiful book you have written in the bookstore. Oh, is it so? So where is that? I just want your autograph. Then, oh, is it so? You read. How many days do you want to stay? You wanted for 3 days. 1 week you stay. So the intellect gets identified with the I. My book. Everywhere there is a problem. So series of identification is called adhyasa. This is one kind of meditation, Vedantic meditation. So really, what do you do with adhyasa? You don't peel out like this. It's not easy. So discern it. Realize. It's called vichara. Atma vichara. Ramana Maharshi used to constantly harp on this Atma vichara as very important. And somebody asked him, if I don't do Atma vichara, what will happen? You will do Loka vichara? Mind has to be engaged in some vichara. As long as the mind is there, mind has to have thoughts, it will do some vichara. Rather than doing Loka vichara, do Atma vichara. One simple way of practicing this is memorize the scriptures as much as possible. And people come talk about it, discuss it. Constantly keep your mind in the vichara of the scriptures, vichara of the higher truths. This is prescribed in the Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 9 and 10. 10.9, 10.10. This is a beautiful practice which is described here. Matchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Matchitta, constantly think of me. Madgata prana, all your energies are completely absorbed in the Lord. Bodhayanta parasparam. Several devotees coming together. Each one of them is trying to discuss this godly things with the other. Parasparam, mutually, bodhayanta, teaching, discussing. Kathayantascha mam nityam, constantly they talk about me, they think about me, they discuss me. Tushyanticha ramanticha, they rejoice. Just like all of you are here, we're discussing spiritual things, discussing the Bhagavad Gita, Ramakrishna, and so on. All of us are delighted. Tushyanti, ramanti, with great joy we discuss. This is all that we are supposed to do. Is it very difficult? Such a simple practice. Put your mind in God. We're trying to do that. All the energy is concentrated upon God and discuss mutually godly things and talk about Him, discuss Him, and get higher joy. This is called bhajana ananda. Three kinds of ananda, joy is spoken about. But the Vishaya ananda, the joy that you come from the senses, the pleasure. Bhajana ananda, the joy which comes from bhajana. Bhajana means thinking of God, discussing God, singing about God. Everything which is engaging the mind in godly things called bhajana ananda. And the ananda that is derived from this. The last is brahmananda, that's the highest. So this much ananda you get. You talk about Gita, then somebody will say, oh, Upanishad also says this. Somebody else come and say, no, Kathamrita also has the same passage. So your time passes by constantly discussing godly things, spiritual. That much we should ensure. There is no excuse for that. Not doing it is no excuse at all. This is a very simple practice Bhagavan has prescribed. What happens then? He assures you, 10.10, Tesham satadayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Satadayuktanam. The Gita, the yukta word is used so many times. Satadayukta, nitya yukta, yukta tama, yukta. Yukta means yujudhatakta, means united, connected. Be connected to me, connected to God, somewhere or the other. Yena kena prakarena manakrishne niyojayet. Somehow or other, keep your mind in God, in godly things. Yukta. So, satata yukta, nitya yukta means you need 24/7 Wi-Fi connectivity. What are bandwidths? Infinite broadband connectivity. Such a person is called satata yukta, nitya yukta. Tesham satata yuktanam, a person is constantly immersed in me, even at the mental level, doesn't matter. Even at the mental level, do you find joy in it at all? There are some people who not only find no joy, they are restless and say, oh, let me go, too much time is gone. There is a story in Ramakrishna's life. A person was so much attracted to Ramakrishna, he came along with one of his friends. That's why it is prescribed in the initial stages of sadhana, keep the company of only like-minded people. Those who are not so seriously interested, don't interact with them too much. They will bring you down. So he came with his friend. This Ramakrishna singing, dancing, creating, elevating atmosphere, and such wonderful Kathamrita, the ambrosial words of Ramakrishna. This friend was so delighted. The other friend was nudging him. Hey, when will you go? When will you go? Then ultimately he said, I will go and wait in the boat. You come later. They can't bear this. There are some people, godly things if they give, they feel so uneasy, they feel completely out of sorts. Ramakrishna has another example. Some fisherwoman, after having caught fish, They were returning. They had the fish basket. All the fish are sold. And it was dark. They had to take refuge in a place. That place belonged to a florist. So many fragrant flowers around. So they said, now sleep here calmly. Tomorrow you can go. They could not sleep. They were struggling to sleep. I said, what? You are not able to sleep? Too much of fragrance of flowers. We cannot sleep. Can you bring our fish basket? Then they put some water in that, kept it near the mouth. The smell of fish, they slept happily. Ramakrishna makes fun. The world is our fish basket. Unless we have some other diversion, something which is worldly, something which is entertaining, quote unquote, then we feel very uneasy. Too much of God today, so I can't bear it. And there are people who find great delight in God, thinking of it. You may not have realized. Find delight. Tushyantija, Ramantija, mark these words. And Bhagavan gives you the simplest of prescriptions. Dadami buddhi yogam. This is what you do. Then what does Lord do? He gives you a faculty called buddhi yoga. This is the medha. This is the pragya. This is the awakening of the buddhi. He gives you this faculty so easily. After a 2-day retreat, you go back home and you find that he is awakened. That's what the Lord, I'm not saying the Lord says here. You delight in this. Be happy. Talk about him. Think about him. Discuss him. Rejoice and be exceeding glad. You know who said this? The Bible, that's a statement by Christ. Rejoice and be exceeding glad. Then the Lord gives you this buddhi yoga. When you're leaving, tomorrow, today and tomorrow, all of you, while leaving, please collect a small packet at the exit. You collect a small packet, open and see, it's buddhi yoga. The Lord is promising, I'm not saying this. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. Through that, they will come to me. Such a tall promise. You just do this much. Madchitta madgata prana borayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanchitaraman. This much you do, I, Supreme Being, I give you this buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga cannot be cultivated by you through individual effort. So the yogis try this. The yogis keep on doing individual effort, trying to awaken the buddhi, etc. They become tired after some time. In the present day world, you don't do anything yourself. Everything is pre-cooked, pre-fabricated. Everything is pre. And the yogis are trying to get firewood and light the fire and cook food. And the bhaktas come and say, where are you going? I've already eaten. Where did you eat? I went there, pre-cooked food is available, packets are available. Go to the ashram, everything is free, don't worry. So I'm very happy I ate. No, I will not eat that pre-cooked free food. I will cook myself. Go on, struggle. That's why the bhaktas and the jnanis laugh at these yogis. They go on striving themselves. I am not saying this. This was said by Ramakrishna to Turiyananda. Turiyananda is a great yogi. Struggling and struggling himself. For a long time, he is not coming to Ramakrishna. See, where is Hari? He is Harinath Chattopadhyaya. Where is Harinath? He is not coming. Oh, he is studying Vedanta and doing Vedanta sadhana. The next time when he came, you see, he was struggling alone. Then he sang a song. The song is, Lava and Kusha, the two sons of Ramachandra, they caught hold of Hanuman. Hanuman can be so easily caught by children. Hanuman allowed himself to be arrested by them. Then they were so proud. Oh, we have conquered Hanuman. Then Hanuman smiled and said, Ore love Kosh, Korishki Gaurav, why are you so proud that you've caught me? If I had not allowed you to get caught, you cannot catch me. So we ourselves, individual sadhana, it's impossible to finite mind to realize the infinite. His grace is necessary if you're a bhakta, or if you're a jnani, enlightened consciousness, endowed viveka vairagya, at one stroke, with the power of your own awakened intelligence, you storm the citadel of God. So we perhaps should not try that kind of Here Ramakrishna himself has come with the Shakti and Nararishi Narayana and a host of disciples, and the parampara is still going on. Everything is available. Simply come, sing a few songs, rejoice in the name of God. Tushyanti Ramanticha. Come on, take this Buddhi Yoga. Dadami, he says, mark these words. Bhagavan is promising. Dadami Buddhi Yogam tam yenamam upayanti te. Then tesham evanagam partham maham jnanajam tamah nashayam yatmabhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. Tesham eva anukampartham, because of compassion, mercy for them, ajnanadam tamaha nashayami. The tamas, the darkness of ignorance, I destroy, sitting in their heart, and the jnana deepa, I light the jnana deepa and destroy their darkness. So these are the verses that are very much conducive to meditation. Oh, Lord has said this, for which you need faith. The very words of Lord are recorded in the Gospel. Very words of Lord are recorded in the Gita. That much faith we should have. Lord himself has promised. So go to him and then say, you have promised in the Gita. I did this. I came to a 2-day retreat. I listened to songs. I listened to lectures. I feel so elevated and happy. Come on, give me Buddhi Yoga. What should I give you? 10-10. 10.10. 10.10 you have promised. I'm not saying this. Whenever I say something, people think that I am saying this. All this is borrowed from Madhukari. Masala is mine. I put some masala, heat it and serve it. This was told by Ramanujacharya. It is famous Sharanagati Gadyam. It's 3 Gadyas. Sharanagati Gadya, Sriranga Gadya, and one more. There he says, he is talking to God. Sakrideva prapannaya tavasmi diyachate abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadami tadvrutam mama iti tvayaiva uktam. Ramachandra made this promise when he came as incarnation. What is the promise? Vibhishana is coming in the Akasha Marga and wanted to take refuge in Rama. He quickly called a council of ministers, Jambavan, Hanuman, everybody. Democratic king. What should we do to this person? Should we accept him? Many people say, no, he is indirectly coming us. He may be a spy, so many things. Then he turned to Hanuman. Buddhimatam varishtham. Hanuman, what's your opinion? Then Hanuman said, oh Lord, even if Ravana comes here now, wants to take refuge, you have to give. That is why you have incarnated. Then Rama's famous statement in the Ramayana, Sakrideva prapannaya tavasmiti yachate, even once. Sakrit. Anybody utters, I'm Sharanagata, I've come to you. Abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadami. I give fearlessness, I give the supreme salvation to everybody. That is my vrata, that is my vow as an incarnation. And the Gita, all of you know, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tva sarvapapebhyo mokshishya iti tavaiva uktam. Ramanuja talks to the Lord, it's Krishna and Rama, and says, this is what you have said. That's what you have promised. And you can't go back to that promise. So let us come to Ramakrishna and says, this is what you have promised in the Kathamrita. You know what he promised? Is there the Srimad Darshan in Bengali, in English called M, the apostle and the evangelist. There repeatedly Sri Ramakrishna says, just think of me. You don't have to do much. You can't do. The one sadhana you do is just think of me. Think of me, he did not use the word me, ekhankar bolte, in this place. That means his rupa, think of his rupa and chant his nama. Rupa dhyan and nama japa. Just do this, nothing more is necessary. And whatever is necessary for you, if anything is necessary, I will get it for you. Then he adds, whoever thinks of me inherits my spiritual wealth, just as a son or a daughter inherits his father's wealth. And Master Moshe adds, M adds there, his wealth, Jnana Bhakti, Viveka Vairagya, Shanti Sukha, Prem and Samadhi. What else do you need? You don't have to acquire all this. You don't have to even strive to acquire all this. You go to him, I am constant thinking of give me. He has promised it. And the Lord doesn't go back on his promise. He has brought so much of wealth. I always tell him, so much of sadhana you did only for our sake. So much of samadhi, so much of sadhana, simply gave it to for our sake. You know what is the secret? You should decide first whether you want God himself or something from God. It's a clear distinction you should make. I want jnana, I want bhakti. He will give you. Suppose the son of a millionaire or a billionaire goes to his dad, oh, please give me $1 million. I want immediately. Check of 1 million. He says, how compassionate, how kind is my father. Father is so sad. Oh, fool. My entire property is yours. Billions of dollars I have. Like a beggar, he come and ask for 1 million. So don't ask anything from him. Because he has much more to give. If you ask this much, he will give this much, that much. Proof. Always proof is necessary in science. Two people, two characters in the Ramakrishna Parimandala. One is Swami Ramakrishna Ananda, Shashi Maharaj. The other is Holy Mother Sharada Devi, who did not ask anything from Ramakrishna. Read carefully, analytically you read. Here is one lady, a wedded wife of Ramakrishna, could not even see him once in a month. He could not come out. Devotees all the time surrounding him. Once in a day, she used to carry food. That also was taken away by another woman. He said, all right, you take. And she says, Dukkha ki baba jantum na, hridaya jana anandar purna God virajaman. I did not know what was sorrow at that time. In the heart, as if a picture of joy is constantly installed there. That was she. She never complained. I never asked anything from Ramakrishna. If you don't ask anything from the Lord, what happens? He gets totally confused. If you want to confuse the Lord, don't ask anything. Suppose you go to a rich man or a very powerful man. Oh, come. I just wanted to come and meet you and see you. Oh, sit down. After a long time, say, you come for something? No, you're not come for something. I like your company. Can I not sit there and look at you and then be happy? Ah, you can. After a few years, this fellow is not going. Then that person doesn't know what to do. In exactly the same way, this is a secret I'm telling you. You can practice, very easy to practice. In a sense, difficult. Not to ask anything is not easy. If you ask also, sorry, he will give whatever you want. But he'll feel sad. Everything is yours. Why are you asking me like a beggar? Don't be a beggar before God. Thou. Don't ask. He will give you. He has to give. Because he has promised. Then Ramakrishna got confused. What to do with this lady? Then one day on the Phala Kali Puja, which was yesterday. No. Yeah, day before. Then he calls Sharada Devi, sit here. Then worships Sharada as Shodashi on the Bhavatarani Kali Puja. At the end, you know what he did? He made Shashtanga Pranam, prostration, full-length prostration. All the samadhi, all the realizations, all the spiritual wealth had, simply, even the Japamala also he said. So simple. So you don't have to do anything. Come on, claim your patrimony. Claim his wealth, because they are yours. This is a secret taught by Ram Prasad. You know Ram Prasad? Such wonderful songs he has. He goes to Mother and says, Divine Mother Kali, and says, Mother, you have promised me. I am your son. So you have promised to save me. And there's a covenant written. You know what's a covenant? They understanding their right. And a legal document, both of them sign. It's, I will protect you. I will give you all that I have. Now I'm suffering and crying. You're not doing anything. I will go to court and sue you for breach of contract. Where will I go? I'll go to court of Mahadeva. শিবের দলিল শিল মোহরে রেখেছি হৃদয় খুলে এবার নালিশ করব নাথের ঘরে ডিক্রি লব এক সবালে. I have got the document in my heart. So I'll go to the Mahadeva's court and show it. This is the document. She promised that she will protect me and save me, but she's not doing anything. And I'll take an injunction against you in one hearing. Be careful. And the media are not terrible. So many channels of the media. And the breaking news, mother and son fight in the court. মায়ে পোয়ে মুকদ্দমা ধুম হবে রাম প্রসাদ বলে. মায়ে পোয়ে, ma is mother, poye means son. So mother and son are fighting in the court. This will be dhoom hobe din, this will be breaking news everywhere. Don't push me that far. Come on, now do. So that kind of faith, that kind of surrender, how does it come? When you know you have no other option. To whom will you turn? This is very important. There's nobody else who can save you. Go on, don't tell your sorrows to anybody else. He is also equally sorrowful. Nobody can really help you unless a person who is free, and who is freer than the Lord himself. Go and tell him your problems. Anything that you feel, talk to him. Swami Yatishwaranja writes in that famous book, Meditation and Spiritual Life, develop the habit of talking to your Ishtadevata. You talk to him. Go and talk like children talk. Children talk to the trees, children talk to the plants, children talk to the birds. St. Francis used to do that. You go and talk to him. So why should I suffer like this? I am doing your work. I am come here for your sake. So I always tell him, I didn't want to come here. I was happy in the world. You brought me here, promising great bliss. Come to Berur Mutt. So much of Ananda will be there, so much of joy, and you'll get liberty. Nothing is happening. And if you cheat me, I will not leave you so easily. I will draw you to court. The court of Holy Mother Sharada. And who will be your advocate? Naren. That's why he came as a barrister's son, to carry the brief of the entire humanity, and he will fight with Ramakrishna. Proof, Pratap Hajra. Swamiji is very fond of him because he could argue. Ramakrishna used to get irritated, keep on arguing like that. This chatterbox used to. But Ramakrishna said, Hajra is not yet ready, I cannot now bless him. He said, you have to bless him. I will not leave you so easily. Naren got it done. So we are working for Swamiji. At least we believe that we are working for Swamiji. At the end of the day, he says, what did you do, Sadhana? I don't know. Swamiji wanted me to work till death. Khete more. I mean, khub khushi ho. This was Swamiji's blessings. Go on working till death. I'll be very happy. And he told me, you told him. He didn't want to do, he was immersed in Samadhi. But you told him to work. He told us to work. I have done so much. Now if he ditches us, he will not leave you so easy. That are the kind of sentiments. Ramaprasad also said, Mother, Durga, if you don't bless me and protect me, nobody will call on you anymore. Just to save yourself, to save me. People are going to, where are they going? To Durga temple. No, don't go there. Look at Ramaprasad. Whole life he called on Durga. Mother Durga did not do anything to her. And in Hinduism, there's high competition between gods. If Durga doesn't help, we will go to Jagadhatri. Jagadhatri will go to Ganesha. Unlike the other religions, we have no choice. We have so much of choice. So every god has to keep the flock together. I'm not saying this in the Kathamrita. Thakur is praying to Mother, give them some realization now and then. Interim relief is called. Some kind of relief, some kind of realization give them. Otherwise, why should they continue? Keep on, you coming every day, nothing happens. So the promise which the Lord has given in the Gita, in the Ramayana, and the Ramakrishna incarnation, that has to come true. Believe this, and if it doesn't happen, we'll catch hold of the barrister Naren and fight Ramakrishna in the court of the Divine Mother. And he simply, his bounty he gives. Don't be a beggar asking small things. Have faith. Shraddhasva, tata shraddhasva. The faith has to come because the Lord's words if you believe. Suppose I don't believe, then suffer. Somebody says, I will suffer. What is that to you? Go on suffering, I don't mind. So these are all parts of meditation. It's called Leela Chintana. In the Vaishnava type of meditation, they don't meditate fixed. There's Leela they think about. It's much sweeter. Swami Premeshananda ji, a very great venerated monk, it seems used to say, every day visit Belur Math, Kamarpukur, Jairambati, and the places connected with Ramakrishna and Sarada Devi. Imagine you're sitting there. Many of you must have seen Jairambati, Kamarpukur, Dakshineshwar. And in the morning you go, and they go to enter the gate, and then go to the temple, and the Kali temple, Shiva temple, etc. Imagine go to Ramakrishna's room, Rakhal, Naren, all of them sitting. Naren is singing Ramakrishna Samadhi. Hours will pass. You don't feel sleepy, you feel so joyful. Leela Chintana. So this is the modern method. If you have fixed picture, go on meditating. Mind is going here and there, pull the mind. I can't do this. Then Ramakrishna says, now is a modernist video. No fixed. Nobody takes still pictures anymore. In the video picture, it's Ramakrishna, I am not able to fix my mind on you. What do I do? Don't worry, let your mind wander. I will go with you. Is that not meditation? The Lord says, I will follow you. Wherever your mind goes, I will go with you. If he is present with you, what kind of meditation do you need? So he has promised he will be constantly there with you. Don't try to pull the mind and put it in meditation as yogis try. You try the other method through bhakti. You be with me wherever I am, whatever I think. Then you can't do anything wrong. You can't think any other thought. He is with you all the time. So in the Hinduism, the problem is God is Antaryami. He's sitting inside the heart and seeing everything. You can't bypass him. In some houses, huge flat, etc., what they do is the pictures of gods and goddess kept in an almirah, they have a glass, and the curtain will be there. They put the curtain and do arati. Sometimes they're watching the television, some movies, etc. Hey, put the curtain. As if the Lord will not see if you put the curtain. He's Antaryami. Hey, I'm seeing everything. And he is seeing everything. He is with you. This is what Mother said. Simplest teaching of Mother. Aar kyun na thakle mane rakbe tumhare ekjon maa ache. If nobody else may be there with you, always remember you have a mother. Mother will protect you. So feeling the presence of God, that's why a great meditation. This was popularized in Christianity by Brother Lawrence. He was lame and he could not work much. Suddenly he discovered a method by which he practice the presence of God. Ishvara Sannidhya Sadhana. You always imagine Lord is with you. Practice his presence. It's very easy from the Kathamrita if you imagine so many scenes. You know why the avatara comes? Apart from other reasons. One great reason for the avatara comes, this I got from Madhukari from Swami Tapasyananda ji. The Bhagavatam, first chapter, Kunti mentions what is the purpose of incarnation. The purpose of incarnation, apart from other things, is he creates innumerable themes for meditation and dhyana. You think of Balagopala, you think Gopi Vallabha Gopala, think of Madhuradishwara, you think of Kurukshetra, Gitacharya, any aspect, any incident you take. Because as an avatara, as a human being, Lord coming in the human form, he has created infinite themes for meditation. Kathamrita is a great text for you can pick up anything. And you can put your mind on that. And if your mind is not steady, don't worry. He will move with you. My mind is not steady. No, you don't have to worry. I will move with you. When He is constantly moving with you, He is there with you, you feel His presence in your heart of hearts all the time, what other meditation do you need? These are different varieties of meditation which has been prescribed. And Sri Ramakrishna in this age has come and promised to all his devotees, anybody who comes here will be liberated. Comes to him means in your heart of hearts you feel his presence. Machitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayanta chamam nityam tushyanta charamanchita. The awakening of buddhi which we are discussing now is easily available in packet form when you think of him and rejoice in his name and in his glory. This is the purpose of all this satsang which you are having. Then you remind yourself all the time, He is with me, He is protecting me. Mother has promised again and again, Mother, I am unable to meditate. No, you don't have to, don't worry. I will meditate for you. Just remember, you have a mother. Is it too difficult? Such a simplest of the simple practices. Even that if we don't do, then great will be your loss. As Kenopanishad says, Iha cheda vedi tata satyamasti na chediha vedin bhati vanashtihi. Great will be our loss if we do not realize God in this very life. See Ramakrishna's 4 sutras, Chatursutri. God is, He can be realized and seen. Second sutra, the realization of God is the only purpose of the human life. Third sutra, and if having attained this rare human birth, if we pass away without realizing God, great will be our loss. So these 4 sutras, let us remember, and we have been called by God. Remember this. Christ said, Ye have not chosen me, I have chosen you. Many are called, but a few are chosen. So we have been called by Him. There's so many other avenues in the weekends, leaving all that where you hear sitting whole days and listening to talks. That means there's some attraction which He has. When He has brought you, it is His responsibility. I always tell you, see, I can't do much. You have drawn me here. Otherwise, I would have happy in the world. Since you have spoiled the whole thing and brought me here, the responsibility is squarely upon you. Otherwise, I'll pull you to court, mother's court, with the barrister Vivekananda fighting the case, and you shall lose. Thank you so much. Yeah, I have talked enough and more. Usually teachers, I've been teaching physics for 30 years. Teachers talk a lot because that is their profession. Teachers and politicians and preachers, they always keep talking. And when teachers turn monks, it is much worse. And when we have very patient listeners like all of you, it inspires you. Thank you. Question answered? No. So all questions have been answered. So you think about all this and have faith. Have faith. That is the essence of the whole thing. Thank you.
Tomorrow 3 p.m. Tomorrow 3 p.m. You can.
No, I'm going to the podcast.
Yeah, tomorrow the retreat will begin at 3 o'clock. There will be 2 speakers, and we'll conclude as we